I got some questions.
Yeah, I want to start by saying that I really didn't like dislike the chapter. It still went along the lines of what I expected. Bam reviving with a power up, though I thought it would be the dark change and or the dark twist, and then him kind of turning the tables on Dumas. Though he didn't completely make it a 180, he was kind of like nicking him or scratching him, then outsmarted him to get a big blow in his stomach. And this was another purely combat focused chapter, but I honestly would say that I left the chapter with a plethora of questions. And maybe you guys can help me out. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell down so the ghost of the 13-month series doesn't get you and you can stay notified. And let's talk about chapter 625 of Tower of God. Wow. Season 3. I said some felt wrong. I looked up. Yeah, so season 3. Okay. First of all, is Bam healed? Or is he stacked with this power of Leviathan despite the state that he is physically? Because he's supposed to be having like all these fatal wounds that were healed, but everything else was pretty much left untouched. Not sure. Or is the power up allowing him to ignore the pain? Will there be ramifications at the end of this too? What did he mean about the Shinwan Ryu space in Traumerei's All Creatures? Is it because the All Creatures has every single possible animal and divine sea creature in it that when it needs a humongous space like Bam? Does this mean that every single irregular has a storage space like this? And is Bam's different or special with how vast and large it is? And Bam seemed to be confused by that. That was another question that I had. I'm not sure why he's not using the thorns in tandem, but maybe it's too much on his body. Leviathan said something that reminded me of the relationship between Uzumaki Naruto and Kurama, the nine-tailed fox. When Naruto initially started to use the Nine-Tails power, if I remember correctly, the first few times when Naruto was in trouble, that was self-preservation, so we gave him some chakra to live. Take that part with a grain of salt. I really want to talk about this. When he became aware of it and they changed the seal and like trapped the nine-tailed fox in that whatever thing, Naruto would forcefully siphon chakra from Kurama, and that would give him a power boost and more chakra to draw from and more energy to use, but he could never fully utilize him as a Jinchuriki, whatever, tailed user or whatever, because him and Kurama weren't friends. When they became friends and close with one another and worked as a duo, the things they were capable of were plentiful and much more impactful. Is this similar with Bam and Leviathan? Similar, not necessarily the same, just commonality and overlap. Bam absorbed Leviathan forcibly when he's like, Q, I'm not going in there. He's in there. He uses Dragon Claw against Holland. He uses the orb with Traumerei, with Leviathan's power against Lopopia Ren. And maybe a few more instances I can't remember off the top of my head. But now that Leviathan is like, I will give you power, he got a new form. Do you guys think that works similarly? Let me know. That's the thought process that I had when I was thinking about it. Now, in addition to that, the next question that I had was, what did Dumas mean about being surrounded by armor? Is the armor on the outside actually on him on the inside too in some weird way, shape, or form, even though we can't see it? I wasn't sure what he really meant by that. You guys let me know how you interpreted that sentence. And there was a lot of panels I just couldn't really tell what was happening. I thought the narrator a la Hunter x Hunter style was interesting, but I actually hate when the narrator tells me what's happening in certain instances like this, especially in combat. Thought it was a weird usage of it. I think he should just make the pictures a lot more clearer. And let me know how you guys thought about the form visually, aesthetically. Did you like how it looked with the double helix horn, the little mandibles, turning the mandibles into the bow and arrow? The bow and arrow Bam stuff was cool. I definitely like him, letting those fly. I had no issues with him doing that, but it's just a matter of, man, me thinking about all the moving parts with this. It's hard for me to truly understand exactly what we're doing with the power scaling and just trying to wrap my head around a few things. I'm not entirely sure how to take everything. I really have a bunch more questions. They're not all coming to me immediately. Another one was how Bam was saying he can finally like sense Dumas and how powerful he was. How did he do that? Why did that happen now? Is this a theme that will continue or a one-off thing? I just have a lot of questions. That's the best way I could put this chapter. I read it and left with like, I don't even know 100% what to think or how to feel about each thing's happening. But I do want to say that Bam being able to outsmart him to get a pretty big blow was cool. And I actually like when it wrapped around his arms, similar to how Das Bones or Mr. One, yes, Mr. One in One Piece, had this spiral hello and a spin. It looks cool. We'll see how it all ends up and how it all shapes out. Do you guys think Bam is going to get the W? Will he need help or more power? Maybe the Thorns, Black March, additive boost or something. I'm not entirely sure. What did you guys think about the chapter yourself? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you love the transformation? Did you not like it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Do you think that it's good from a utility standpoint, but maybe a little ugly? Or maybe you think it's beautiful, don't care about the utility? Will he ever learn how to use all these powers before he gets a goddamn new one? Many questions to ask, and I will be very transparent. I was pretty much like at a 5.5 out of 6 out of 10. I was like, oh man, I didn't hate it or love it. I didn't feel strongly in any direction. In terms of it being a combat focused chapter, I got essentially what I expected. But man, I left with a lot of inquiries. I don't know what's going on in so many aspects, but maybe you guys can help me. Stay safe.
If you got questions about water, I could definitely help you with that, because every answers about water.
You think you will have more answers about water than questions I will have about water?
Patreon. I don't know why I did all that. Shout out to the CBLs, Certified Bam Lovers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. They be loving Bam, LaBam, James. Shout out to the Priest of Fardo. These are the Certified Brilliant Lovers. They might be the real CBLs. Appreciate y'all. And a big shout out to the 5th Zen Gods, the tier 3s. Shout out to Big Abdel, Abdi Malik, Childish New Jabez, Fairs, Huey, Johnny Rogers. Shout out to Big Mod Katan, Lazy Dragon. Shout out to Lopo Be Ablaze, Naz Riley, Revenant, Rox G, S, Scobe, Simi, Sly, Tao, Tino Brown, Urek Massino, Wolf General, Zodiac Nemiko, and Zyler Scotty. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you. I had grass dipped in honey today. Yeah, nutrition.